And here we go, ready for glory in Giza. Uysk against Rico Verhoeven. A special crossover extravaganza. Uysk 39 years old, where Verhoeven is 37. Uysk 6'3" and Verhoeven 6'5". 78-inch reach for both men. And Uysk fighting out of southpaw stance, while Rico is fighting out of the orthodox stance. Huge disparity in experience within the boxing world in this one. Uysk unbeaten in 24 fights and an amateur record of over 300 fights or something ridiculous like that. Never lost as a professional, versus Rico, who has also never lost as a professional but only one fight. But there is intrigue in this fight. You say how? There is no chance that Rico can win. But I say, will the unorthodoxy be a problem for Uysk? See, Uysk sets traps. Uysk boxes people. He sets people up knowing the boxing habits that they have. That approach may not work with Rico, because he may read the game very different coming from the kickboxing background that he has. Although so far in the simulation it has been a one-sided affair with Uysk pressuring the whole round, and that one comes to a close and surely will be scored for Oleksandr Uysk. But there is intrigue for that reason and that reason only. But this is an event more than anything. This is two greats in their sports. Yes, two 10-7s there for Oleksandr Uysk as we head into the second round. And you know, one of the most intriguing things about this fight is the venue. Like I said, this is an event. Don't come here looking for world-class boxing. You're going to get it from one side as Uysk goes down. A shocking turn of events as Rico has knocked Uysk down. That unorthodox approach may have came into effect there. And now what can Rico gain on this? Imagine if this happens in the fight. That would be shocking. Uysk looks okay though. He's battling well. But like I was saying, this is an event. It's the venue. It's the two men in the ring. And it's the stacked undercard that we have to go along with it. The whole night as Uysk goes down again. Uysk is having kittens out there. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody saw this coming at all. I think Uysk will survive the round. He's wobbled there. That could have been the end right there for Oleksandr Uysk in the second round. I can't believe what has just happened there. Well, I think there's no doubt who has won that round. 3 10-7s. Uysk with work to do heading into the third. I don't think many people would have called this. And, you know, for those who are unaware, the predictor, the C64 predictor, has been on a winning run for 13 weeks in a row. That's 13 straight fights. It has not put a foot wrong. These are not exactas, but it picks the winner each and every time. The last time it got wrong, and this is actually quite funny, was a crossover fight as well. It was Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. It called Jake Paul as the winner. That was the last loss over 5 months ago, I believe, that the predictor had, which is insane. But like I was saying before, it's the event. It's a stacked undercard we've got here. We've got Jack Carroll taking on Giasov. That's going to be a great fight. Hamza Shiraz, I believe, will be fighting for the vacant WBO World Super Middleweight title against Bekic. That is very exciting. I'm a real big fan of Hamza Shiraz. As this round comes to a close, it'll be good to see him pick up the title. Giasov is a man who I don't know if I've actually seen him fight. He's fighting Jack Catterall. Be interested to see him out. I've heard the words. Apparently he's very good, so that's a very interesting fight. Frank Sanchez will be taking on Torres Jr., which is a real good fight. Looking forward to seeing Torres take that step up. So it's a real nice card. There are a lot of other fights on the card as well, but those are the big ones. Those are the ones we're looking for. And this is going to be a very fun night of fighting. And the real question after that is, what is next for Oleksandr Uysk? Who could he face next? You know, would we be looking at an Ajit Kabayel? I'm not so sure. Fabio Wardley would have been a great offer, but after losing to Daniel Dubois, that fight seems off the table. Daniel Dubois, he's already lost twice. I don't think there's an appetite really for that to be the next fight. What about Deontay Wilder? Could that be the next one? I think that one makes quite a lot of sense. Could the winner of AJ and Fury get a third? No. But realistically, we'd like to see Usyk out before that, as that round comes to an end. Let's see what way that round's gone. So there is Usyk 10-7, 10-10 and a 10-9. So Usyk getting that round. So there is options. You know, I think the option I would like most would be for him to take on Moses Atalma. But maybe it is too early for Moses Atalma. But the real question is, what are the options if the unthinkable happens and Rico Verhoeven wins as he gets a knockdown and maybe he has done it here? Oh, I thought that Usyk weren't going up. But who could Rico face off with? Suddenly, I think Tyson Fury's right back in the fold for the world title shot. And that's the fight to make, Rico versus Tyson Fury. The two men know each other very well as Rico Verhoeven scores another knockdown. They formerly trained together. This is unbelievable what's happening here. Rico could actually win on the simulation, and the simulation has not been wrong in over 13 weeks. That's a very long time. But let's see. I think Usyk will survive this round, and he really needs to start changing it up. But we know Oleksandr Uysk, he comes stronger as the fight goes on. He takes a little while to work the opponents out, and maybe that's all that's happening here. But the Usyk camp must be worried seeing this. They must be worried. Everyone knows what the C64 predictions are about. Everyone knows the record, and that it has stood the test of time. Proven right time and time again. So the Usyk camp, Igas Klimas, and the rest must be feeling a little bit worried seeing this footage. A tough night for Usyk. And again, as Rico is putting on the pressure. Again, rocking him right there. And again, Usyk goes down. This is unbelievable. Quickly back up. Worrying times for Oleksandr Uysk, as Rico has 20 seconds to fulfill his destiny and become at least the WBC world champion. The WBA will decide after whether he will be world champion. Oh, Usyk ducks low, hits the shot, puts Rico down, and he is not moving. That is it. Oleksandr Usyk is the winner after what a fight. But if we get that, we'll be very lucky. But that is your C64 prediction. Usyk to win in the 6th round.